Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be starting the first episode of a new series I want to do called Hidden Gems. This is where I'm going to be taking artists that are under 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify and kind of talking about them, what I like about them, their strong suits, their projects in general, and why you should be listening to them. I think that there is a lot of artists, obviously, that are coming out every single day with new music that are just being undiscovered because there is just so much music coming out. And a lot of music channels don't really focus on smaller artists, so I wanted to really highlight that because I think small artists should help small artists. So, today, as the first episode, I thought I would talk about the artist who I'm most familiar with that I will probably cover ever on the series, and that is going to be Cyrus. I have reviewed at least one or two of his albums on my shorter form reviews, but I haven't done a full in-depth review yet of his. And at the time of recording this, he only has 24,678 monthly listeners. His genres are rap, pop rap, R&B, and pop. He kind of melts all those together, switching between those like four main genres, throughout his whole music. He has three albums. We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves is his debut, then The Bathhouse and Be Happy. The Bathhouse was actually retrospectively added to Spotify in, I believe, 2022. It was supposed to come out in 2018. It did not, due to label disagreements and other things that I guess were going on, but it is there now, so it is technically his second album. And then he has one mixtape, which came out in 2015, his first project called Love Cyrus, and then he has one EP called Trying, and then he has a myriad of singles that he's got throughout his whole career. His top 5 most streamed songs is in order from number 1 to number 5. 17 with 4 million streams, Northside with 3.3 million, Cute with 3.2, No Calls with 2 million, and High with 1.2 million. Out of all these, I would say Northside is probably, amongst his fans, probably the highest rated. It is his first true serious song, which dives into deep subject matter and real introspectiveness and depression, which he covers a lot in his music. I wouldn't say he's of an NF caliber where it's kind of all he talks about. He does talk about very different things, from state of rap or music in general to his personal life and depression or drugs, or he has typical love songs. But Northside is definitely the highest regarded, and I would agree it's probably one of his best songs that he has ever released. Just a hard one to top. When you listen to it, you'll see. My personal project link rankings from my most favorite to my least favorite. At the bottom is going to be Love Cyrus, the debut project. I like it. I had a period of time where I listened to this all the time, but I think just with each coming release that it just better things have come out, and Cyrus has just gotten better with his music. So not that it's bad, but personally I just think everything after is better. Then after that is We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. And while this is definitely one of the most influential albums that I have come across in my personal music listening career, I guess if you want to say, it is not my favorite. It was kind of paving the way for me to really dive into albums, and I'm going to have a video in the future eventually of what this album has done for me and how much it means to me and other albums alike. But this one, again, same thing. I like it. I revisit it a lot, but the other ones are better. At number 3 is going to be The Bathhouse. This one feels just like an extension of We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. A lot more polished. This one is a lot more rap-centric, where there's a lot of pop or R&B cuts on We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. This one feels a bit more timeless, where certain tracks on We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves feel dated as of this point, 10 years later almost. But The Bathhouse so far is aging really nicely. considering that it's from 2018. So 7 years out, but it's really well done, and I think that pretty much every track on there is worthy of its spot and really doesn't have a lot of fat to trim off of it, even if it's not his best work. At number 2 is going to be Happy. This is his 2021 project and is, I think, most fans' favorite project from him, and this holds a big bulk of his most streamed songs. Not talking about necessarily the top 5, but everything like after that. A lot of stuff on here. This is a long track list. I believe it is at 21 songs, I think is what it's at total. But it's a great listen. I think it's just over an hour long, and really it's not a project that feels like it slows down too much in any way. It's got good pacing, keeps a consistent sound throughout, and with Marcus Alexis, his best friend, having the only features on here, he really creates like an interesting dynamic to come in every couple of tracks. And then at number 1 is going to be his 3-song EP called Trying. This one came out in 2018 when he was leaving his record label, The Spectators, which is no longer a thing, possibly due to him leaving, just couldn't keep himself afloat. I'm not really entirely sure, but either way, when he was leaving, this was sort of his departing project. It was supposed to be a full-length album titled Trying to Enjoy Myself, and being the spiritual successor and sequel to We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. It was very centered around depression and how, even though he made the album We Should Enjoy Ourselves, he was having a hard time actually doing said thing, which he created that album for. And even with these 3 songs, it is just one of my favorite musical projects that's ever been released. It is something I hold very near and dear to me, and I listen to it pretty consistently. With it being only 3 songs, I believe it's just over like 8.5 minutes maybe. So a very quick listen, but just my favorite project of his. It's, obviously short, concise, and really well done. My personal top 5 songs, though. Number 1 and 2 can be flip-flopped. I go between them a lot. But right now at number 1, it is I Just Hope You Know That I Meant Well. The song came out it was either late 2021 or 2022, which was supposed to be for his project that never released. I'm not sure if it ever will, titled Can We Pretend That I'm Famous? And this one was one of heartbreak, and one that at the time I had extreme relations to, and it hit very close to home for me. And just one still I think is sonically one of his best, along with the other singles that came out at that time. But at number 2 is the title track for We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. This one just kind of having the message of what that entire project is. I think it was one of the best done. And at number 2 is The Message, also from We Should Just Enjoy Ourselves. This one is a slower rap cut, leaning a little bit more on the almost R&B side on the instrumental, but he keeps a slower rap pace. Really love it, and the pocket that he sits in. At number 4 is going to be Favorite Song, featuring Sticky Arrow. This was just a one-off collab between the 2 artists, and I think that the duality between their verses and how well they actually come together on the project has made it a mainstay in my top 5. Honestly, since it has come out, he really hasn't had I think a collaboration since that one that has just made me gravitate towards it as much as this. Like, he's got great collaborations when he does, but this one I think is really just 2 worlds that are perfectly colliding with each other. And at number 5 is Day Jobs. This one comes off of The Bathhouse, and it is sitting in that R&B to kind of, I guess if you want to say, like, bedroom kind of indie rap area. I'm sorry, I'm kind of starting with my words. But yeah, it's slower paced. The instrumental is fantastic. I love the saxophone that is on it and kind of rings off throughout. Just great. And then I'm going to talk about, with all these series, I just want to kind of introduce this next section, but I'm going to be talking about what makes this artist worth listening to. So what makes Cyrus worth listening to? I would say that Cyrus is very unapologetically himself. He quite literally can't sound like any other artist if he tried. Does he take inspiration from other people? Of course. He's never shied away from sharing that or talking about that in music or on social media. But still, he's really versatile in all of his sounds, and it all comes together for a very unique sound that I think that there's really not any other artist that I have found that quite compare to him. And you can just tell that he puts a lot of effort in his work, and he is someone who is very dedicated to his craft, despite how long sometimes he goes between releases or hiatuses. When he comes back, he always comes back with something that is new to his sound and refreshing to his fan base that we haven't heard yet. And honestly, I think that with Cyrus, he is someone who right now is just getting better over time. I think that with each release of his, he truly is just getting better and better. And if or when he releases his next either EP or mixtape or album, I think that it is going to be his best one yet. And so far, he really hasn't proved me too wrong with that. And my favorite sound that he does, maybe we should talk about this before what makes him worth listening to, but my favorite sound from him is his R&B cuts and his like laid back raps, such as Day Jobs or The Message. Songs like that are just, I think, where he kind of sits in the perfect pocket where he gets really introspective, and his raps are sometimes the most clever. He's not someone who's like a super heavy on the punchlines or crazy wordplay. He does slip in those double entendres and sometimes the wittiness in there, but on those laid back raps, it is just, I think that is what he is perfect at. I love when he does his show off displays on songs like The Introduction or Everything I Never Could Be. I hope I'm quoting that right. It's a long title, but Boardman Gets Paid, like songs like that where they're like heavy rapping and he's going just consistently throughout the whole song without stopping or really even having a chorus sometimes. Songs like that I love, but the laid back is, I just think, the perfect pocket that he sits into. Almost a borderline jazz rap sort of on a song like Day Jobs. But that is going to be kind of it for the whole video and what the Hidden Gems series is going to be. I really want to talk about a lot of people who have never been covered on any review channels. Cyrus hasn't really been featured on other review channels, and I'm hoping to cover more people who are missing out on that exposure as well. Not that I am necessarily giving the biggest exposure, but some exposure is good exposure at this point. So, if you have an artist of yours that you would like for me to tap in and listen to and maybe eventually go over, let me know. Otherwise, check out Cyrus's music, support him on all streaming platforms and on social media. Hopefully, he came out with a song not too long ago called Bad, so hopefully we're going to get more soon from him. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.